Hey everybody, Joe Warmbrodt, Team Warmbrodt-Realtors. I have the pleasure of being with Sue King, Garcia Mortgage Team, and we're going to Sue's going to dispel some mortgage myths. So let's talk mortgages. What are some myths that maybe first-time buyers are?
Sure. Thanks, Joe. I'm glad to be here. One of the main myths that I hear are people looking for houses and think they can work on the financing after they find the house that they want. That's not a good idea. Last thing we want is for someone to find a house that they fall in love with and then find out that they can't get financing or that there's some issues with their credit or income, whatever the case may be, and you get your heart broken. So one of my main goals is to make sure that people start early, go over their finances, make sure that we have everything in place. That way you start looking, find the house of your dreams, and you're good to go.
And that makes sense because once they find that out, then they can get with their realtor who they've chosen already, and then we know how much to go house shopping for, right?
Right, exactly. And another myth is that, they have to have perfect credit, right? You want it to be as good as you can, of course, but again, another benefit of starting earlier is if there's a blip on that credit, if there's something that has to be fixed or deleted, you can take care of that ahead of time. A higher credit score means a better interest rate, lower mortgage insurance. So it's really important to have all your ducks in a row before you start the process.
We've heard from some clients that have talked to Sue that you may think that to pay this off and pay that off, but you, from a mortgage standpoint, you'll give advice, maybe this would be better, right? People don't even think that.
Absolutely. Some people will work to say, pay off a car payment. Well, in the mortgage world, if you have less than 10 payments, we don't even count it in your debt to income ratio anyway. So those were funds that maybe instead of paying off the car, you could have put towards your down payment. So again, really important to just get all the information.
So you might have less money to go look for a home than if you would
Correct.
listen to the experts.
That's right, Joe. Yeah. Another thing that I hear often is people are, want to avoid mortgage insurance. Mortgage insurance is on any loan that's less than 20% down. The good thing about mortgage insurance is that it helps you get into a home sooner. If we all waited to save 20% for a down payment, you'd be a long time from buying a house. That's a big nut to crack. So while people don't like mortgage insurance, it's a great way to get into a house quicker by having less down payment. And then when you get to that 20% equity position, that mortgage insurance goes away. So you don't have to live with it forever.
Do you find that everything's going up in price, right? Rents are going up?
That's right. I mean, you're saving for a down payment. You can be paying rent for another couple of years. That's money that, could have gone towards a house payment instead and building equity. So yes.
Mm-hmm. Good stuff.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anything else?
I think it's very important to plan early. I think it's important to know that, try to get a feel for your budget. What do you want that monthly house payment to be? Be realistic about how much cash you have. Do you have money for down payment? Do you need to look into first-time home buyer assistance programs where they grant you down payment money? There's just a lot out there. Again, my main point would be, sooner you start, the better off you're going to be. Even if you think you're not buying for a year or so, start the planning now. It doesn't hurt, and you may be pleasantly surprised, or you might find out there's some work to do to get you to the position you want to be in.
And a lot of times people moving into St. Louis or first-time home buyers, you may get a mortgage through your auto, who you're having your debt car payments with and that loan, but a local lender is huge, especially in the real estate market. That could be the difference of getting a deal accepted or not.
Absolutely. We'd love to get out a pre-approval that has everything already verified. We verify income, make sure we have credit, make sure that you have the assets, and then that way, all you have to do is find your home. There's no snags. You're all set. So a local lender, I believe, is really, really important. We have a strong pre-approval. We can verify that all your income and assets have been documented, and it makes for a much smoother transaction, and it makes your offer more competitive, in my opinion.
Great. So there you heard it, folks. Sue dispels those myths. We'll put Sue's contact information up, email her, give her a call. She's a great person to know and to get you on the right track.
Thanks, Joe.
Thanks. If you like this video, want to see more, comment below. Joe Warmbrodt, Team Warmbrodt-Realtors with Garcia Properties. Thanks.